Hi, everybody. So happy to have you with us here for our Champions League post-show. Kate, Thierry, Jamie and Micah. 5-4, the final score in the first leg of this semi-final between PSG and Bayern Munich, played in Paris. We've got the second leg coming up next week, of course, being played in Munich. It was kamikaze, but it was fun to watch. Thierry?
Risks. We've been talking about that we watch a lot of teams that do not take any risk, wingers that don't dribble, people that don't go forward, that are thinking about not losing the game instead of winning it. Well, tonight we have plenty of risks, situation that at times maybe if you think about, if you have your defensive hat on, you'll go crazy on some stuff that you might see or you saw tonight. But I don't care. You know what? We've been complaining for more than a year or a year and a half or 2 years that football is boring in bracket and whatnot. That game wasn't boring. And again, if you put your professional hat on, we're going to have to analyze some stuff about the goals that were conceded. But you know what? I enjoyed myself, and I think everybody at home enjoyed themselves. It's just crazy. As you said, it does a score you see normally on aggregate at the end of a tie. You saw that. It was just crazy at times, in all fairness. So quality, we saw great players. They all appeared. We saw battles. We saw great goals. We saw goals that you shouldn't be seeing. We saw even a mistake from the referee. We saw everything. Great crowd. It was just outstanding.
Who's happier with that result?
Well, the one that won.
It's so tight, though, and then you're going back and you're playing the second leg in Munich.
Bayern.
You think so?
Yeah, coming back, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you could almost feel it towards the end of the game that it felt a bit flat with PSG, almost like a disappointment, even though they were winning. You see the reaction here from the Bayern fans, look at the Bayern players. If they hadn't have got those goals back, I think it was over. 5-2, you're not coming back. You know, you'd expect PSG to at least a goal or two over there as well. So, you see the difference. You don't need me to tell you, but you can see with the demeanour of both sets of players, supporters as well. The PSG fans are walking out there disappointed, and they've won the game.
I need to lie down. I'm exhausted. what a game of football! I think it's the best football, certainly first half, I think I've ever seen.
You love the quarter-final as well. Remember the quarter-final against Real Madrid? Did this top that for you?
I just think, because both teams were just at it with quality. All the big players turned up. Carragher, João Neves, Dembele, Kane, Elise. Even Upamecano gets a goal with Diaz. Diaz as well. I mean, you know when you come to a game, and we talked up before the game, don't we? This should be a classic, should be amazing, all the best players on show. But then they have to do it. And they did that tonight. Thierry's totally right in terms of the defensive aspect of the game, wasn't great. But if you look at the overall spectacle, entertainment, all the best players on show turning up.
Do you know what I want to say? Because I am a defender. And we looked at some of my stuff earlier on. Those games were 0-0 and 1-0. But and normally when I see a game like that, I'll be a bit like, the defending's not good enough, or, you know, it's not up to the standard of this level of football. But what I would say is, every attacking player on the pitch there was an 8 or 9 out of a 10. And I think every attacking player got the better of his counterpart. And when I think of the goals, now, because there was so many, I might forget one or two. But it wasn't like there was howlers by the keeper or like someone doing a stupid mistake defensively. It felt like a lot of the goals were like just great goals where you go, oh my God, amazing. Now, every goal you can always look at a little bit and say, oh, he could have been there, he could have done that. But it wasn't like the defenders made a fool of themselves. Have I missed a goal or something? It just felt like every goal for me was like pure quality. It felt like the attacking play was that high that it was almost impossible to stop the goals going in. I don't think there was many howlers.
The 4-2 goal, it's not a howler, but if you don't move, you save it.
Which
one?
I can't even remember which one it is.
When Lema goes with... You stay in your position, you see the run of Hakimi and you don't let him run. But having said that, I'm with you, Jamie. We've been complaining about boring football. We saw two teams that wanted to play each other eye to eye. And it was enjoyable, as much as we can go into details after, and we will, but it was enjoyable at the end of the day.
Let's not forget, last season we looked at PSG and we loved them, and we still love them. And we couldn't stop talking about the two fullbacks, right? Hakimi and Mendes. The two of them have been taking the absolute cleaners today by Diaz and Elise. Now, so when we're saying, the defending, we're talking about the two best fullbacks in the world. They are. No one was close to them last season or times this season, and they're still brilliant. But the two players up against them, as I said, tore them apart. And sometimes you've just got to say the attacking play was just out of this world tonight.
I mean, Nuno Mendes didn't train for a very long time or whatever it is, but they both finished with cramps. This is why I wanted to see at the beginning of the game Olise versus Nuno Mendes on and off the ball. Because people always talk about wingers and great players. You need to go up and down. And Michael Olise will make you go up and down. And Nuno Mendes couldn't carry on. He had cramps. Hakimi on the other side, as you said, had cramps. It's not often, even though they didn't train for a little while, 2 weeks on the other side. Hakimi, we all know the issues that he had this year. But to make them finish both with cramps, that tells you how Bayern Munich played and the wingers played.
It had to have been an incredible game to watch live in Paris. Anita and Peter Schmeichel are over there for us. If you remember, we heard from Peter before the game, and he said to us, this is going to be a high-scoring game. Here's a clip of what he said.
I mean, they will create a lot of chances. And if the goalkeepers today are not up to it, we could have something like a scoreline of 7-7 or 8-8.
Peter!
Your pronunciations have been spot on, and now you predict
You guys
it.
don't record mine. What did I say before the game to you guys? I said 4-4. That can be a 4-4 game.
That's those coaching badges, Peter.
Don't record my stuff. I said 4-4. Okay? Just put it there. Just to put it there. Just to put it there.
You want your flowers, yeah?
Yeah, thank you, please.
Yes. Anywho, Peter and
Competitive
Anita.
edge hasn't left TT, but let's talk about the game. Yeah, exactly that, Micah. Thank you for coming to us. What a game it was. It felt like the roof was going to lift off in here. It was hard to think at times. Do you think that was a fair result, given what we saw?
It was, I don't know. Honestly, I do not know if this was a fair result. Anyone could have won this game, and we could have more goals. We talked about defenders before, and I totally agree with you guys. I don't think there was any mistakes made by any defenders at all in this game. Even with this kind of scoreline, the only mistake in the game was a referee giving that penalty right at the halftime. That was the only thing, the only blemish, I think, of this game. I cannot remember having watched a better game ever in my life, live, being in the stadium, and the tempo and how it's shifted from end to end all the time. It was brilliant. And, you know, every player that's come in, I've shaken their hands and I've said, thank you very much for a great game. And they look at you because obviously they're in a different place. They don't know they've given us this kind of game. But what a game to be here at. It's just unbelievable.
I think it's also worth mentioning that you had a quick word with the man who was leading out the team today, and he described it as a beautiful game himself. Aaron.
Aaron just came past and he said, it's crazy, but it was a beautiful game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, as a coach, as a manager, how do you analyze this? I mean, this is the way they play, and I'm going to say this: it's going to be exactly the same in Munich next week. It's probably going to be TT's 4-4, you know, something like that. It's not my 8-8, but it's going to be high scoring again because these two teams can't play in any other way. It's impossible for them not to attack every time they have the ball, and it was absolutely fantastic to watch.